Hello, welcome to Yoga and Pilates Fusion. So for this class, we're going to take some elements from yoga and we're going to take some elements from Pilates mat work and put them together in a nice, fun little class. So that being said, the only props you may need, you could totally get away with one block. I've got two here. I've got a stretchy band. This one happens to be light. You can also use a medium one. We're going to use this towards the end for feet in the strap. The stretchy band just gives you a little bit more resistance with that than a basic yoga strap. So that's the purpose of the band. We'll also be doing some kneeling stuff, some stuff on our knees towards the end of this practice. And so if you need some knee cushion, you can have a blanket or a pillow, something like that. I've got a folded blanket here for myself because my knee is a little cranky this morning. So let's go ahead and get started. So I'm going to take my feet about hip width apart. So hip width apart is where the front of your bones are here, the ASIS, and you want that bone, your knees, and your toes to all track in that relative alignment. And I'm going to zip up nice and tight here from the pubic bone to behind the navel. If you're unsure how to kind of zip up and in, just take the belly button into the spine, but you don't want it to be so engaged that you can't move and you can't breathe. So we're engaging from a place of ease. And shoulders are down. I'm just going to take my hands right below the heart here. And just take a moment. You can close your eyes or you can take the gaze down a few feet in front of you, which is what I'm going to do. And I'm making sure that my knees are soft and unlocked. That helps me keep a neutral pelvis position a little bit better. And I'm just going to notice as I'm standing here, is there anywhere that I could soften just a little bit more? So maybe softening around the face and clenching the jaw, relaxing the shoulders, and softening the knees a little bit. And maybe taking a moment, feeling the feet, what parts of the feet are touching the floor, what parts are not. Can you feel the lift of an arch, or are you collapsed in an arch? So if I press into my big toe and pinky toe mounds and lift up my toes, I should be able to lift through the arch a little bit. And then if I lower my toes, can I keep that? It's okay if you can't, we're just staying where we're at. Take a big inhale and exhale. Inhale. Exhale. And that's the Pilates way to breathe, the yogic breathing. Inhale and exhale. Good. Relax the hands. Take a big inhale. Exhale. We're going to bend the knees on the way down. Press through the feet and the legs as you come up. You do not have to bend too deeply. We don't want the hips to drop below the knees, but we do want to press into the feet and the legs. They're taking the load as we come up. Good. We'll add a little bit of balance here. We'll come up, pick up one foot, doesn't matter. Take it down, go to the other side, and taking it down. Good. And down, and one more time. Good. From here, coming to the top of the mat, we'll go into a half sun salute. You can use your blocks here. If you know you can't touch the floor very well, your blocks can bring the floor up higher to you. I'm going to stay with hip width apart here. If you do not have a back issue, you're not newer, you're okay with balance and all that kind of thing, feel free to touch the feet and the legs together here. Okay, so big inhale and we'll reach. Exhale, and I'm going to bend and bow. I like to bend my knees. It's easier for my back. Pressing through the feet and the legs. Lift and lengthen halfway, nice long back. Hands can be to blocks, floor, shins, or thighs. And remember, your blocks come in 3 heights. So if you need them, pick the height appropriate for you in the moment. Exhale and we'll fold. Pressing through the feet and the legs. Rise all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. We'll take this into a modified sun salute. A big inhale and we'll reach. Exhale and we'll bend and bow. Pressing through the feet and the legs. Lift and lengthen halfway. Exhale and we'll bow. We're planting the hands. We're going to step back into a plank pose. Knees can be grounded or they can be lifted. Now I'm going to be lifted. I'm going to press back through my heels. I want my shoulders to be over or slightly behind the wrist. My fingers are spread wide. I'm rooting through the knuckles of pinky, pointer, and thumb. I want a little bit more length here, so I'm just going to lengthen that out. Good. Now, if you can't stop yourself from collapsing through the shoulders, we want to be nice and protracted here. Drop those knees. We're still breathing even though we're holding that plank. And then I'm going to drop my knees. I'm going to untuck the toes. Good. From the shoulders, elbows are going to come forward. Elbows are going to come behind, straight behind. I'm trying not to collapse through the shoulders as I come down. Good. I'm going to take my hands a little bit forward and to the side, rolling the shoulders back, zipping up. Maybe some of us take a baby cobra. If that's okay and there's no crunching anywhere, maybe we take a higher cobra, medium cobra. Belly button is in. No hanging in the shoulders, no crunching in the back. Maybe we go to a high cobra. And those of you that have it would like to go there. You can lower down about halfway, take hands under the shoulders, tuck the toes, come up into your plank, push forward from the feet to find your up dog. Again, no hanging in the back, no hanging in the shoulders. And then from here, good. I'm going to lower back down. Good. Hands back under the shoulders. Maybe a little wiggle, wiggle, wiggle here of the feet. Not the feet, but the hips. Feet will probably wiggle too, but mainly just do it through the hips. I got a foot cramp back there. I'm sorry. Good. From here, once you're ready, good. If you're a stronger and more experienced yogi, you can push back up into the plank and shift back to your down dog. All others, follow me through a tabletop position. Good. I'm going to tuck the toes. I'm pressing in and forward into my mat as I lift my knees and my hips. Good. You can adjust your feet as needed. My heels touch the floor in my down dog. Yours might not. So just go to where you can go. Head and neck are free. I'm pressing evenly to my big toe and pinky toe mounds of the feet. As I'm still pressing in and forward into my mat, from the shoulders, I'm going to turn my inner elbows more towards the ceiling here. That creates a stronger, more stable shoulder girdle. Breathe and expand. Inhale, look forward, bend the knees. Walk, step, or hop your feet forward to meet your hands. Taking your time to get there. Pressing through the feet and the legs. Lift and lengthen halfway. So hands to block, floor, shins or thighs. Exhale and we'll bend and we'll bow. Pressing through the feet and the legs, rising all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Finding the breath, mountain and tension. We'll take one full sun salute A here. Depending on how my injured shoulder feels today, I may or may not take that flow. So just be mindful. You can do any back bend of your choice that we just did. Big inhale and we reach. Exhale and we'll bow. Pressing through the feet and the legs, lift and lengthen halfway. Exhale and we'll bend and we'll bow. Planting the hands. Step or hop back to plank. You choose, take or skip a flow. So I'm going to drop my knees here. My elbows come straight back, halfway down, lifting up. The modified cobra up dog here. And then from here, in a way that's best for you, finding your downward facing dog. Taking that breath. Good. Let's move right into a low lunge here. So I'm going to take my left leg up, 3 points. I'm going to bend that knee. I'm going to use the right leg and foot to bring me forward. And then I'm going to use my core muscles to step or pick up and put that left foot forward between the hands. I'm going to let that right leg come back and knee can come down. Make sure that your foot is far enough forward to where your knee is over the ankle and the heel is on the floor. I see people do this a lot here. Try to practice from this point. This is a lot of strain on the knee that doesn't need to be there, and you're not stable down here. So if you can't step it up there from your down dog, pick up your foot and put it there. That's why I say step or pick up and put your foot forward between the hands. Now, I'm going to grab my block here. because this is going to help me come into better form from a better place of ease because I'm a short person. So now I can get a nice long torso here by using my block versus forcing myself to the floor where my back is round. So this is why I love my block. Good, and coming up. From here, when you're ready, right hand can be on the floor or onto the block. We're going to open to the left. Breathe. Look up at that hand if you can. And exhale, we'll take that back down. I'm going to take my blocks more forward here, fingertips to the floor, tucking the back toe, lifting the back knee, front foot steps back. You can take or skip a flow. So I'm going to skip this one and go right down dog. Feel free to do what you need to do for your practice. And we're going to go to that all again on the other side. So from your down dog, right leg is going to lift 3 points and we'll bend that knee. Using the left leg and foot to bring you forward. So again, step or pick up and put that foot way forward. Bringing your blocks here to help you with that stability. Good. The left leg's going to come down. Good. So knee is over that ankle or behind it. Heel is on the floor. Find your length from a place of ease. Finding that lunge from a place of ease. Good. Feel that stretch in the front body. Zip up through that front body. Left hand onto the block or to the floor. We're going to open to the right. And then we'll take that down. Good. Once ready, blocks can come forward. Fingertips to the floor. Tuck the back toe. Lift the back knee. Front foot steps back. Again, you can take or skip that flow. And once you've completed that flow, we'll drop the knees and we'll come to a child's pose. Knees can be together as wide as no matter, somewhere in between. Arms can come long in front of you, or hands can come back by the ankles, depending on how they feel. If you want something with a little bit more depth here, walk those fingertips forward if that's where they're okay to go. Breathe and expand through that rib cage. And then once you're ready, hands under the shoulders, we're going to come up. We're going to have a seat. So we're going to go into some saw series work here. Saw series work. So I'm actually going to, this is another reason why I just love practicing with a blanket. I'm going to sit on this blanket because this helps alleviate some of the tightness in the back body and will help you be able to sit up a little bit taller if you sit kind of towards the front of a folded blanket. I'm going to take my feet, my heels to be more specific, as wide as my mat. And always note, if you are tight in the backside, always keep a bend in the knee. And if you're like, well, I don't want to keep thinking about putting a bend in the knee, put some blankets under here for support, and then you don't have to think about it. So always help yourself. So zipping up through the front body, I'm going to imagine that I'm sitting up against an imaginary wall, and I'm going to peel off that wall bone by bone from crown to the tail. Okay, so it's not this motion. That's a different exercise. It looks like this. I'm going to nod my chin. As I nod my chin, I'm looking towards my thigh. I'm going to start to scoop in that belly button here. I'm reaching forward. I'm still looking down. I'm still looking down as I'm peeling off. Good. Ears are coming by the biceps now. Good. And you just go to where you could go. And then when you're ready, from the tailbone, good. I'm keeping that scoop as I stack bone by bone on top of the other, coming back to that nice tall sit. Let's do that again. Big inhale, exhale, nodding the chin. Zipping up and in. Good. We're looking towards the thighs. Always having that focal point. It's important in both yoga and Pilates for good form. Good. Going to where you can go. And we'll stack. Now you could do this a little bit quicker, but I don't recommend that unless you have perfected your form. We're going to go again. Sometimes going faster can be harder, but most of the time going slower can actually be harder because you have to stay in the present moment and concentrate on what you're doing. We live in a society, good. One more time, where we like to go, go, go. We're always looking into the future. It's hard to be in the present. A lot of us get stuck in the past. Good. And we'll come all the way back up. So always try to be in the present when you do your workout regimen. And I promise you'll get better results. Good. That was spine stretch forward. Let's go to spine stretch side. We'll come out to the side. You want to try to keep your shoulders and your hips in alignment. So you don't want the hand to be too far out here or too far up here. So we're going to take this we're going to go to the right because that's the side closest to you. I'm going to keep the left hip anchored, and I'm trying to squeeze that low rib cage and the top of that hip bone together. Reaching, reaching, reaching. A nice long top arm will get you there. Good. And then we'll come back up and we'll go to the other side. Good. Hand, shoulder, hip in alignment. The right hip is grounded. Right arm is long. Good. And then we'll come back up. We're going to do this again. To the right. Taking it over. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze that right side. Open up that left side. And coming back to center. And again, to the left. Taking it over. This time squeezing the left side. Opening up to the right side. And coming back up. Let's go into a twist. So for this twist, this is what I see a lot of people, no control or awareness of the arms. I like to think of my arms here as like a rod. So if I'm a rod, when I twist, they're all twisting in unison. So one arm can't come out ahead of the other, okay? Now, if you've got like a weighted stick or a pole or something like that, and you want to train yourself with that, it's a nice training tool. So from here, we're going to go to the right. So zipping up nice and tight, and we're going to twist. Both hips are grounded. We're looking where we're going. Just go to where you can go. And if you feel like you're cranking through the low back, then you're going too far. And you should be able to breathe and expand the rib cage. And then we'll come back to center and to the other side, to the left. Rotate, rotate. Look where you're going. And coming back center. And again, to the right. Good. And back center. And one more time, to the left. And back center. Relax through here. We're going to put those elements together for saw. So kind of think about with the saw, you're trying to saw off the pinky toe with the pinky finger. If you can't reach the pinky toe with your pinky finger, just do the best you can do, okay? No bouncy bounces here. It's just a stretch. Both hips stay grounded. We're going to rotate to the right. Good. I'm going to round, like spine stretch forward and reach. And then I'm going to come all the way back up. And we'll rotate. And we'll round and reach. And stack as we return. And rotate. And round and reach. And stack as we return. And rotate. And round and reach. And stack and return. Shake all of that out. We're going to go into a float. Coming back to yoga, you can cross the ankles. I'm going to move my blanket out of the way. Coming back to all fours. Good. Find your downward facing dog. From the down dog, inhale, look forward, bend the knees, pressing through the feet and the legs. Walk, step, or hop your feet forward to meet your hands. Lift and lengthen halfway. Exhale and we'll bow. Pressing all the way through. Exhale, hands to heart. Good. Finding that breath, finding that centering. From standing, we're going to come to a little bit of a warrior series. So for simplicity's sake, I'm just going to put a block at each end of my mat here. And I'm going to recommend that you do the same as well. And you'll see for a moment why. So I'm going to make sure that my block is going to be on the outside of the left foot, which means I'm going to step back with the right foot. So I'm just going to step that back. Good. Find your balance. Good. From that right hip, I'm going to turn out 45 degrees. So my foot is at an angle. It's not parallel to the side. Front hip's going to come back. And then try not to shift my hips. I'm going to take the chest to the side and I'm going to reach. So here's my warrior two. My knee is bent and the knee is tracking towards the pinky toe. And I can look down and see that toe. Now, if you've got a crampy knee and you need to lengthen out of here, then lengthen out of here. See if you can press to the back edge of the back foot. Really make your muscles work here. Try not to hang in the flexibility of your joint. Really press into the feet. Zip up that front body. 3, So this is warrior two. We're going to take this into exalted warrior. So with a bent knee or a lengthened front leg, try not to shift the hips. We're going to take it back. Good. Now, I'm going to look up at that hand. I'm getting a little bit of a balance challenge here looking up. If you need less of a balance challenge, look straight forward. Breathe. Strong in the feet, strong in the legs, strong in the breath. Inhale. Exhale. Find your warrior two. We're going to take this into that extended side angle. So I'm really going to press to the back leg from the hips. I'm lengthening, 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 lengthening. When I can lengthen no more, you've got some options. You can take a forearm to the thigh. I like hand to the block on the outside of the foot. Now that I'm stable, I can allow this knee to come a little bit deeper into this pose and maybe even taking my foot a little bit more forward. I can't do that without my block. This is why I love doing this with the block. I'm still finding that length now with ease. If you're hunched over like this, you're not from a place of ease and you're not finding length. You're in a forward fold. This is not a forward fold. Now I'm going to twist from that length. Good. And reach. Good. Maybe even taking it nice and long. Good. Just kind of seeing where you can take it. And breathing. And then when you're ready, looking down at that front foot. Good. I'm going to lengthen that front leg as I come up. Good. I'm going to take both feet, both knees, both hips straight forward. We're going to do a fold here. How do you know if you're out too far or not out far enough? Do the little test. You want the ankles and the wrists to be in that relative alignment with each other. Hips, knees, and toes are trekking forward. Toes are even. One foot is not forward of the other. And the way that's best for you, I'm going to have hands at the waist. We're going to take this fold. Now, you might need to put your hands down here. That's okay. Good. I'm keeping a long back here, and I'm keeping my shoulders away from the ears. Some of you might be able to get your head down here. That's fine too. But breathe. Relax the face. Unclench the jaw. Always returning to the breath. Good. Now, to come out of here is going to be different for everyone. Some of you are going to bend the knees and walk the hands up the legs. Some of you are strong in the core and the legs, and you're going to come right up here. Take a moment if you need to. When you're ready, we're going to heel toe, or hop the feet back together. And we're going to take that all to the other side. So I'm going to come this way just so that I don't have my back to you. So now my right leg is going to be my forward leg. I want that block to be on the outside of the right leg now. I'm going to step back with the left leg. So find your lunge. Find that first. Good. And then once you're stable, from that left hip, you're going to turn out about 45 degrees. Good. Front hip is going to come back. That helps that knee track towards the pinky toe a little bit better. And then try not to move the hips. I'm going to take the chest out to the side and reach. Warrior two. So my alignment is different on one side than the other for my warrior two. That's just how my hips and everything are. So it doesn't mean anything other than you're different on one side to the other. If you need to do a little bit of a different alignment, always use the alignment that's best for your body. And breathe. And relax the shoulders. And with a bent knee or a long front leg, try not to shift the hips. We'll take that back into exalted. Again, looking up will be more of a balance challenge. Looking straight ahead will be less of a challenge. Good. Find your muscles. Maybe lift the toes, getting into your feet. Inhale. Exhale. Finding your warrior two. Going into that extended side angle, pressing through the back. Lengthen, 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 lengthen. When I can lengthen no more, remember you can take the forearm here. I'm going to take my block to the outside of that foot. Good. And this is going to allow me to come a little bit deeper into this pose on this side. Deeper is not always better, but with support, I can come deeper into that knee and deeper into that front heel. Good. So now I've got a little bit more length. I'm going to open up to the side. Arm can come up or reach long overhead. Breathing. Good. Be more into your feet and less into the block. The block is just there to help you with stability and that depth. But all of your weight shouldn't be in the block. How even can you be? Where could you soften? Inhale, exhale, looking down at that front foot. We'll lengthen that front leg about, and we'll come back up. Good. One more time. Find yourself where you need to be here. One more fold. Arms are out. I'm going to take this fold here this time. Big inhale, exhale. Good. Now I'm keeping a nice long back. Again, on my way down. Good. I'm pressing through the outer edges of the feet, so I'm not collapsing inward. If your knees are hurting here, notice if you're collapsing into your arches, press to the outer edges of the feet and make sure that the legs or the knees are not locked. Breathe and expand. Relaxing through the face and clenching that jaw. Coming back to the breath. And then same as before, come out the way you need to, walking the hands up the legs and coming all the way up. And then once you're ready, good. We're going to heel toe, or hop it back together. So I'm going to clear this space a little bit. We're going to take this into some Pilates push-up. And because I know that this is eventually going to end with me taking my knees down for the push-up portion, and that we're going to come down onto our knees after this, I'm going to go ahead and preemptively put my blanket here so my knees are comfortable. Good. So we're going to start with a standing roll down. So if you have osteoporosis, or from this perspective, it's just hard for you to see curve down, especially if the spine stretched forward was harder for you, just put a bend in the knees and take your path that way. Good. You can be parallel hip width apart, parallel feet together, or a Pilates V stance. So hips, knees, and toes are turned out in the V. I've got about a fifth width apart between those two. Zipping up nice and tall. Big inhale, arms up over the ears, zipping up. Good. We're going to keep the arms and ears by each other. We're going to dive over a beach ball. I'm going to dive over that beach ball. Good. I'm looking towards my thighs. I'm coming down. Knees can bend as needed. And once my hands touch the floor, I'm going to walk this out to my plank. Good. And you're always free to skip the push-up part and just stay in the plank. Good. I've got my plank. Good. Halfway down, pushing up, finding the plank, walking it back. Good. Once the hips are over the ankles, good. I'm going to walk that up. Inhale and we reach. Exhale and we'll dive. We're looking towards the thighs. Good. Dive, dive, dive. Walking it out. Good. Find your plank. Find the push-up. Good. And we'll walk it back. Good. Walking it all the way up. Last time. Inhale. Exhale. And we'll dive. And we're looking towards the thighs. Scoop, 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 scoop as you fold in. Coming all the way down. Good. Finding your plate. Finding the half push-up. Good. And then finding the child's pose. Good. Once ready, we'll come to all fours. We're going to do a little bit of opposite arm, opposite leg balance work here. So, zipping up nice and tight. I'm protracted. I'm going to start by taking the left leg back. I'm going to make sure that left hip is dropped slightly. Good. And then I'll lift. So you can lift this hip height, but I wouldn't go beyond that because then we start to get us way back and we want to keep that connection nice, long, neutral spine. If you're stable here, right arm can come forward. And we're breathing and we're pushing out of the supporting shoulder. Good. Point that back toe just a little bit. Good. We're going to tap, squeeze and lift, tap, squeeze and lift, tap, squeeze and lift. And we'll round and reach and round and reach. And one more and round and reach, 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 reach. Press out of that shoulder and come down. Child's pose. We'll do that again on the other side. When ready, coming up. Good. Right leg's going to come back now. Good. Let that right hip drop just a little bit. Belly button is in. You can take the lift. If you're stable there, left arm can come forward right by the ear. Good. Pointing that back toe a little bit. belly button is in, and we'll tap, squeeze and lift, tap, squeeze and lift, tap, squeeze and lift, and round, and reach, and exhale, and inhale, and exhale, and inhale, and reach, and take that down, child's pose. Find your child's pose. Good. And we'll come up. So we're going to take this into a gate pose. So coming back to a little bit of yoga, but we're going to take this gate pose also into a side plank, which is both yoga and Pilates. There is a little bit of overlap there. So I'm going to take my block over here, and you'll see why in a moment. And your block can be any height that you need it to be. And this is just for the gate pose portion. So I'm going to leave my left knee right here. I'm going to take my right leg out here. Big inhale and reach. Exhale. Side bend over the outstretched leg. Getting that nice stretch. That feels nice. And then coming up. Hand can come to the block or to the floor. You can keep that leg grounded, or you can take a lift. We'll lower it back down. Good. Now, from here, I'm going to move this out of the way. Good. We're going to take it over. Now, if you know that what we just did with the lift or keeping that foot grounded is where you're going to go, you can bring that block back in. Otherwise, we're going to take it down. We're going to take a lift. Or maybe that foot comes down and then your grounded leg can come behind, or you can find a stack. These side planks works best if hips and chest both are facing the side, not the hips facing the floor and trying to make the chest go to the side. Good. Supporting shoulder is away from the ear, and it's over behind that wrist. And then once you're ready, good, you can take that back down. Good. Kind of work that out a little bit here. Take it out. We're going to take it all to the other side. So bring this block in here for this side. Good. Left leg's going to come out for me. Good. Big inhale and reach. Exhale. Taking it over. Good. Getting that nice stretch. And then coming up. And we'll come to that block. Reaching. You can stay here or you can take a lift. And then leg's going to come down and coming back up. Now, you choose again where you're going to go. So I'm going to go to that point. So I'm going to move that block out of the way. I'm going to come over and coming up and coming down. Good. From here, find your gate pose variation or find your plank variation. Good. Hips and chest are both facing the same direction. Breathing. Breathing. Watch that shoulder. Try not to hang in it. You really got to press that floor away. And then once you're ready, good. You can take that back down, come back up, just kind of circle a little bit and shake it out. Excellent work. We're going to come onto our backs now. I'm going to move these blocks out of the way. Make sure you've got your band handy here. And I'm going to bring this folded blanket down. I'm going to have it right behind me here. I don't want to use it for bridging as a next pillow, but I do want to use it for relaxation. And once you're ready, we'll come onto the back. And once you come back here, you need to adjust any clothing. Give yourself that chance to do that. And then for a moment, taking the feet as wide as a mat. Zip up again from pubic bone to behind the navel and let the knees gently windshield wiper side to side. Make sure the belly button is pulled up and in here to protect the low back as you do this motion. And then once you're ready, we'll bring those feet and legs back in. So we're parallel. Hips, knees, and toes are tracking. Make sure the feet are not too close. Make sure they're not too far away. For a proper bridge, not only are we pressing into the feet, we're also pressing into the arms and the shoulders. This is also scapular strengthening as well as for the backside and the core. Big inhale, exhale, pressing into the feet, the arms and shoulders. Lift the hips straight up, lift up through the chest. If you feel yourself scooting backwards, your hamstrings are not engaged, think about energetically taking those knees forward. That will force the hamstrings to do the work that they need to do. And then we'll lower that back down. If that's the way you need to do your next one, that's fine. Otherwise, we're going to do this one articulation, bone by bone. Zipping up. From here, we're going to rock back through that sacrum, through the lumbar, through the rib cage, up through the upper back, again, lifting up through that chest. And then we're going to lower from the mid back, through the rib cage, through the lumbar, through the sacrum, and back to your safe pelvic neutral spot. We'll do that one more time. Rocking back through the sacrum, through the lumbar, through the rib cage, lifting up into that mid back, lifting up through the chest, pressing arms and shoulders into the floor, and then roll over from the mid back, through the rib cage, through the lumbar, through the sacrum, and back to your safe neutral. One knee at a time. Grab behind the knees and pull them into the chest. Let's take this into a hundreds here. Hundreds. So you can keep your feet on the floor. You can be tabletop. You can be up to the ceiling. You can be anywhere along your diagonal line as long as it doesn't cause discomfort to your back. This is going to be my starting position, and arms are up. Zipping up, nice and tight. I'm going to lift up that chest, lifting up the shoulders. I'm looking to the thighs. My arms are long and low. I'm going to take my legs long from here, from the shoulders. I'm pumping long and strong and low. And I inhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, lift the chest higher. Exhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, reach deeper. Exhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, hold. Let the chest higher, reach deeper. Woo! And take that down. And wiggle, 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 side to side. Sliding that head and neck, go side to side. So I didn't explain it before, but if you've got osteoporosis, that C curve is not really for you. So you can take, again, depending on where you're at in your process here, legs can be up. They can be in a small diagonal, but not too deep, tabletop or here, okay? And if you're reaching long and strong and you're really engaged, you're still gonna work your abdominals just from being here, okay? Now, if you're doing this wave, you're not gonna feel that connection. So know that it comes from the shoulders. Let's grab this band. And I'm gonna start by taking my right foot into this band. And I wanna make sure that that band is equal parts off each side and the band is flat on the foot. If it's bunched up, then it could roll, snap, hit you in the face, have a bad day. Your other leg can be bent or extended long. Your low back is going to be in charge here. So I'm going to come here. Good. And then from here, good. I'm just going to pull straight down and the leg is towards the face, keeping a micro bend in that knee. You can point and flex the foot here, finding your optimal spot. Now, another thing you can do is, yes, you can grip up. Something that I like to do when I have a band is take it back here. So this may not be where you are today. So you take it where you need to have it. Breathe and expand. Nice hamstring stretch. And then we'll come up. Both pieces of the band are going to come into the right hand. Both hips, both shoulders stay on the floor. We'll take that leg out to the right. So I'm just going to kind of wiggle around here, finding my best spot. If your other knee is bent, make sure that knee stays in line with the hip. Try not to let it fall up to the side as a counterweight. And then we'll take it up. Good. We're going to switch hands. We'll arc over here. Wiggle around again from the hip, finding your best spot. Some people's best spot is going to come if that knee is bent. Other people's is going to come if the leg is long. So just kind of play and experiment as to where it is that you need to be. Breathe. And then when you're ready, good, we'll come up. Good. Now we'll take this into some circles. So I'm going to choke up a little bit. I don't want to choke up too high. I want to be able to pull my elbows down, but still feel like I've got some resistance here. So we'll do smaller circles first. Belly button is in, both hips stay on the floor. So you're just drawing a little circle with the big toe. And when we're paying attention to the core, even though, yes, we are getting into the hip a little bit, it also becomes some sneaky core work. Good. Now, you can take this larger as long as you're in control and the hips stay on the floor. Good. And then we'll reverse. You can take big ones or small ones. I'm going to take big ones only because it took me so long to be able to do a big one with both hips on the floor. I'm very, very proud of these circles. Good. And we'll come back up. We're going to do a midair switcheroo. We're going to take that all onto the other side. So making sure that that band, again, is nice and flat. Your right knee can be bent or extended long. Remember, your back is in charge here. And then finding the grip that's appropriate for you. Find your hamstring stretch. Always keeping a micro bend in that knee. Relaxing through the face. Unclenching the jaw. Returning to that breath. And coming back up. Both pieces of the band into the left hand. The left hand. Good. Both hips stay on the floor. And again, you can choke up as needed. Just kind of wiggle around here, finding your best spot. I might need to come a little bit farther away from the wall here. And so again, if your other knee is bent, stays right in line with that hip. Try not to let it be used as a counterweight. And we'll come back up. We'll switch out the hands. We'll arc over 45-ish degrees. Wiggle around from the hip. Find your best spot. Is it a long leg? Is it a bent knee on the side? May be completely different for you on this side than the other. Almost always, there is some exceptions sometimes, but almost always my left side is tighter than my right, even though I'm right-handed. Good. And we'll come back up. And my left side is always tighter because it's my stronger side, believe it or not. Good. So now, find a grip that's appropriate. So if you pull the arms straight down, you're going to get some resistance here. Zip up. Good. And start with those little circles. Make sure you're okay there. If you struggle keeping both hips down in the little circles, that won't get better with a larger circle. Okay, so just kind of start. Make sure you've mastered the first thing before moving on to the next thing. And when you're ready, good, you can take the larger circles. Good. I'm still too close to the wall, but that's okay. Good. Now, reverse the direction that you were going. Belly button is in nice and tight here to help with that control. And then when you're ready, we'll come all the way up. We'll bend that knee. We'll remove that band. Take the knees into the chest. Rock, rock, rock for a moment. We're going to go into a final supine twist here. Knees in tabletop position, arms out to the side. I'm going to let those knees come all the way over to the right as I look to the left. My left shoulder is grounded, and I'm breathing and expanding through that rib cage. Head back to center, one leg at a time to come back. Good, reset. And then we'll take those knees over towards the left. We'll look towards the right. Good. Right shoulder is grounded. Breathing and expanding. And when you're ready, one leg at a time, it's going to come up to center. Good. Now I'm gonna reach behind me. Maybe I can reach. Good. I'm gonna bring in that blanket. So I'm gonna use this as a little neck pillow here. You can use any prop that you would like. Some people do well with a cushion or folded blanket under the leg. Good. I'm gonna kind of get myself 10% more comfortable here. My back doesn't like it from here today with both legs long. So I'm gonna keep my knees bent into this constructive rest pose. And then from here, as you settle in for a moment, so this is final relaxation in Pilates, Shavasana for yoga. Make yourself about 10% more comfortable. And relaxing through the face and clenching the jaw, coming back to breath. And maybe a little bit of gratitude for this practice. And then taking a moment to come back to breath. And then you can invite a little bit of movement of the fingers and the toes. And take stillness one more time, or maybe taking the knees into the chest, or maybe a full body hug is a little bit better for you. Whenever you're ready, we'll bend in the knees. We'll roll over to the right or left side that works best for you in this moment. Taking all the time that you need here. And when you're ready, we'll press ourselves up to a comfortable seat. Good. Fingertips can come down to the side. Notice if you feel a little bit taller, more open. Palms turning up. We'll come up. We'll touch the palms together as we bring the hands down. We'll stop the thumbs at the forehead for good and true thought. To the lips for good and kind words. And to the heart for open and loving hearts. Knowing no effort on this mat is ever wasted. No gain is ever reversed. May you be safe. May you stay well. May you have a wonderful day, evening, week, month, season ahead. Thank you so much for joining me. Namaste.